out here. Straight up Cali, let's go. Straight up Cali, suns blazing high.
Greetings, good people. Welcome to another edition of Leaders and Learners, where we all know that the best leaders are lifetime learners. And today, I actually have a return guest, someone that is one of my favorite humans, but I don't think you got to know her as well as I want you to know her the first time. So she's back, and I want you to pay attention to the DR in front of her name because there's a lot that goes behind that DR. I'm going to make sure that you learn a little something special before you leave here today. Okay, I want you to give a warm welcome for Miss Stacey, Dr. Travel Edwards. Yes. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing so wonderful. You know, I just have to say this before we get started. Tanya, every time I hear your voice, see your beautiful face, it just warms my heart. And I appreciate that warm welcome because I was over here jamming to the intro music before we got started. And then you started going through this professional introduction. I was like, oh, no, but thank you so much for having me, Tanya. I'm really excited to be here to talk travel, hopefully educate people on some things, give out some great information. So thank you so much.
I'm so glad you're here. So, as you guys can already tell, she is the doctor of charm. She is the doctor of poise. She is the doctor of eloquence. Now, we're going to dig into the other part of her doctorate. I want you to tell me how you are the doctor of Stacey. How are you controlling your narrative these days?
Sure. So, you know, the most exciting thing for me to share, Tanya, is because of now being the official travel doctor, is that I was able to retire my job or career of 18 years in the insurance industry, where I was a catastrophe claims adjuster. And for those of you who don't know what that means, I'm the person who comes out and assists you typically on the worst day of your life when your house is caught on fire, flooded, something bad has gone on. And from receiving or finding travel is something that I enjoy doing, that I was able to walk away or retire that job that I hated. Did I say I hated it? That I hated in order to embrace travel. And so for the past 3 years and the past year, pretty much of which I've been doing it full time, I'm able to embrace it. Being one of the We Do Not Care Club members, postmenopausal people. Yes, I am an official member, love her, that, you know, I'm able to travel and have peace in my life while still earning a substantial income that's both commission, supplemental, and residual income, and able to enjoy my life with my new husband. We just celebrated our 4th year of marriage, my beautiful grandbabies, and life is just wonderful for me now that I'm able to do something that I love, because there's nothing quite like being able to get up every morning doing something that you enjoy and knowing that you're helping people while doing it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I hope y'all caught that. The doctor of travel we have here with us today. Now, I do have to ask because there are people that are trying to deter people from going to college. And I know you got your DR from a
Yes.
university. So
Yes.
walk me through one, why it's telling people they shouldn't go to college about the dumbest thing you've probably ever heard these days. And two, even after all of that studying that you've done, now you're doing something that you didn't have to go to college for. Help me out with that.
Exactly. So I believe, obviously, that education is so important. And, you know, it's not even so much about just getting the degrees, bachelor's, master's, you know, PhD. It's really about learning and growing and developing and having some level of discipline and commitment as an individual. So when you go to college, it's not necessarily about the coursework because, you know, obviously my degrees were in sociology and my master's degree was in business administration. But by going to college, I was able to learn things about the world, life, history. I had the dedication and the commitment to doing something or accomplishing things. I committed myself those years in order to have a larger breadth of knowledge about just about anything and everything. It's about developing social skills because you're living with people when you're living on campus. You're interacting with other people of different races, nationality, gender identity. So it's much greater than just the idea of being able to jump out into the world and step away. I think that education is so necessary just to prepare you as a everyday adult and interacting with other people.
I have to feel like an amazing interview, Miss Stacey. Thank you so much. I appreciate that because people seem to forget that there is more to life and going to college than just the book. So, moving back into that space, which is something I'm thoroughly impressed with, by the way, you are amazing to me. When you do go to college, you meet people that are not like you. You
Mhm.
start to learn about their cultures, you start to learn about their traditions. And
Right.
now you are doing something where you can actually go to the places of the people that you met along your journey. Talk to me about your first international trip. Like what resonated with you? How did that feel? What did that look like?
Sure. I think, well, my first international trip, surprisingly, which is what I actually recommend to a lot of people, was actually via a cruise.
Mm.
And the reason I say that is because by cruising, you have the opportunity to stop in different countries and get a little taste and experience of the culture, what the people look like, what their environment looks like, so that you can have something beyond just the United States, because everybody, there is something besides just living here in the United States. There are other people, there are other cultures, there's other things that people do and how they live. So when I went on my first cruise, it was actually to the Caribbean, and it was a stop in Nassau, Bahamas.
Mm.
And by stopping there, it was just so amazing. Number one, to see the beautiful water, because all I had seen is the Great Pacific Ocean for the most part, or the cold Atlantic, and seeing the beautiful blue waters. And then just seeing how different people live, where, in Nassau, obviously they don't have a lot of the big skyscrapers and things that we have here in the United States, but seeing how people live a lot more simple than we do. And they're happy and they're enjoying lives. They don't have to drive around in the Teslas or Lexus and all of that. They're just very welcoming and warm, and seeing people who looked like me, but were living differently. And so it was just a good way for me to just, one, be thankful for a lot of the opportunities and things we have here in the United States, but also being able to see how people are still happy and comfortable living how they're choosing to live in their socioeconomic environment. So it was great. It gave me a taste. And then later in life, I went back and stayed a week at one of the resorts and did some more excursions where I could get a full immersion in the culture rather than just the one-day stop via a cruise.
Until I went to Sayulita, Mexico, which was fabulous.
Mhm.
The Bahamas was one of my all-time favorite spots because, girl, the food, hello.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
like, this looks like a movie. Actually, I
Mhm.
think it's been in a movie, and I'm here, and the food is fabulous. I mean, nothing you said is a lie. It is all true. The cruise, we went on a cruise. We left for
Right.
Florida. It was amazing. And, I just want to, how do people get to do what you're doing if they don't have a lot of money, though? Like, how do you do it?
So that's one of the biggest misconceptions that I find, especially with people of color, when it comes to traveling. Everyone's like, oh my God, it costs too much. I can't afford it. I don't have several thousands of dollars to spend. So the greatest thing that you can do is partner with a travel agent, like myself, where what you can do is just plan out. If you plan in advance, any trip can be affordable. You can set up monthly payment plans where you don't have to worry about accruing interest, or, oh, I don't have a credit card that'll allow that much to be put on. Most of the people that I work with, they plan their trips a year or even 2 years in advance. And
Mm.
when you're doing that, we're talking about 100, 150. It can be as low as that much, depending on where you want to go. I mean, you can do a short hop over to Jamaica. A lot of people have never been there. and plan it a year or two out, and you may pay couple $100 a month, and a trip that seems so unobtainable is actually obtainable. So it's just all about planning, and you can go anywhere in the world.
I think there are people in our country that need to plan to expand their horizon because they don't recognize how incredible outside of our bubble, whether it's the bubble in your city, in your community, in your state, in your country, really is isolating, and it limits your ability to be able to think beyond the moment, right? You get to see and explore and grow, not just, you get to grow in your mind, your thought, seeing how other people live. You know what's most fascinating to me? And have you been to Africa? Because I
I
think
have not.
people there are many, I've been in a room where there have been people that were surprised to know that white people were in Africa. Just like there are people right now that are surprised to hear that Bad Bunny is Puerto Rican and Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. What kind of anti-intellectual moment are we in, doctor?
It's so funny you say that, because my husband and I, we were laughing about that last night, and I have to prep my people. Like, if I have one more person who goes to like Spain or South America and asks for a taco or a burrito, I'm just going to fall apart. Where it's, I have to let people know that.
What did you say?
Girl, I promise you. And it's one of those things where, educational moment, people. Tacos are originated from Mexico. Everyone who lives in a Spanish-speaking country is not Mexican. So that means that if you go to Spain, there are not going to be tacos there, or do not expect tacos. If you go to Argentina, you are probably not going to find tacos or burritos. And also burritos are typically the ones that you get. I can't even think of some of the places right now because I'm just laughing about this in my head. With the lettuce, tomatoes, all of that. That's Tex-Mex, Mexican American. Those are not what burrito people. Help me help you.
So clearly, the travel doctor can help you in so many different ways. And so on any given day, the doctor is in, honey, and she is trying to pour into y'all. We want to see you travel. We want to see you educate, expand, and elevate your life. But I want to talk to you. I want to get a little more personal and talk about my people.
Okay.
So people, we don't all have passports. Can you tell these people why they need to have passports and be intentional about traveling abroad?
So that and the taco thing, but the passport is so personal with me, Tanya, because beyond just Black folks,
and the taco,
everybody needs to have a passport. There is no reason at all why you should not have a passport. And especially, and I know, Tanya, because I follow you with your podcast and all of your posts and everything, and how, political and sociologically involved you are with our country. People, with the state of our country right now, and I'm not going to go too much in politics, but you need to make sure that you have access to a passport, because you never know when laws, legislation, or anything could potentially change, and we need to get up out of here. You just, and beyond all of that, okay, on a serious, that is very serious, but just also it allows you to open yourself up to experience things. Even a simple trip to Canada or to Mexico, you need to have a passport in order to be able to just go through. And it's just a fun and exciting experience where you go and you get to walk through immigration or customs, and they ask you the different questions to confirm your citizenship. It's just good to have. Everybody needs to have them, but Black people, my Black people, we are in the United States in this current situation that we are going to hopefully get through within the next 3.5 years. Please get your passport.
Please. And what do you think? What do you think holds us back? What do you think is the biggest misconception that Black people have about traveling abroad? What's the fear? Help me. Let's identify that.
Tanya, ironically, I think a lot of Black people in particular really, and this is going to sound crazy, think that everyone in other countries are racist. I really firmly believe that just because of our historical experiences here in the United States as, generations and from our history of slavery in the United States, that we believe that mentality or mindset is everywhere in the world. And it's not.
No, it is in some places now. So you
But
do your homework, make sure you talk to your travel doctor. But
that's
when I
right.
was a kid, my uncle used to go to South America on his annual trip by himself,
Mhm.
solo. And I was like, asked my great grandmother, this is my great uncle, and I was like, why is he always going over there? She was like, girl, they treat him like a rock star. Every time he crosses the border, they just start treating him like a rock star. And I was like, I need that. And I was probably only a teenager when I realized that he enjoyed traveling because he got treated well,
Mhm.
better than here. And I was a kid. So imagine what we're missing out on, good people. Imagine what we're missing out on. I think you should stop missing out on a good time and
Right.
being treated well. I think that's it. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I go somewhere else and they're treating me well. I might want to stay. I don't.
Right. And you're absolutely right, Tanya. I mean, my husband and I, we experienced this when we went to Curacao because we were a COVID couple. We were married in 2021 and we had to go to the courthouse in Martinez. And so the next year we planned a kind of a vow renewal for friends and family in Curacao at Sandals or Royal Curacao. And
Mhm.
when we got there, it was like we were treated like royalty because Sandals is a beautiful resort. It's a little upscale and a little pricey, and so most of the people who come there are typically not people of color just because of the price point. But we were treated like royalty. The staff, they just embraced us. You could tell by just looking at them, they were excited to see us there. And I tell you, they went above and beyond for us as far as our experiences there. They were there to take care of things at the drop of a hat. And even at our reception, we were pulling people out the kitchen and the back to come and celebrate with us. And they were just so excited. And that's just one example. During my visit to Barcelona, Spain, everyone was so welcoming and accommodating and just nice and pleasant. I just think that we need to experience other countries and get beyond just thinking that everything here in the US. I mean, and it always just hurts my heart when I hear some people who haven't even left the city or state that they live in. And I know a lot of it has to do with socioeconomics. I completely get that. But there's always an opportunity to figure out something if you plan in enough time to just get that experience. Like I said, even if it's just to go to Canada or even Mexico.
So did you? Because you're having a lot of fun with this, and I don't know if you guys have, and if you haven't yet, please do follow the good doctor over here on social media. She is really enjoying her life. And my question to you is, how can other people do the same? How can people find themselves in a situation like you where they're working a home-based business, doing what they love, posting pictures to give me FOMO and making money?
Yes. So the great thing, Tanya, as I was saying earlier, I was trying to find an out. I got to be completely honest with you guys, and I'm not embarrassed of my age. I am 55 years old. I am doing my countdown towards retirement. And so I really wanted to try and find something that I could do to help get me there where I could still make a good income. Because let me be clear too, I walked away from a six-figure salary. This wasn't, and I did that strategically, and that I got to the point in my business where I was able to help compensate for that. So it wasn't that I was just throwing my hands up and I'm just going to do whatever. But I'm a coach, a mentor, and travel business owner. And I emphasize or say travel business owner because not only do I have a full service travel agency, which is Integrity Elite Travel, but what I also do is I coach and mentor others to assist them with developing and growing their own travel businesses. Listen, it's not rocket science. Yes, I'm thankful for my doctorate and all of that. But there are people who are in this business, who are in their industry, who, may just have their high school diplomas, may have gone to college, may have not. There are some people who were executives in their company. It's not hard. I'm here to help people learn more about the travel business. And basically with it, you don't have to have any formal education in travel. You know, they do offer some courses at different community colleges or places. It's not mandatory. You don't have to have any experience. The host agency that I partner with, they have thorough trainings, both online. You can do it at your own pace. There's no pressure. There's no sales. It is your business where you do it at your pace. If you work a full-time job, maybe you just want to earn some extra money or get some of the perks from traveling, because there are perks that you get as a travel agent, and you just want to earn a couple of extra $100 per month. You can do that. There's also some people who make several $1,000s a month. Some people who were able to transition like I did full time. And there are actually people in the travel business, more of the network marketing side of it. We have 7 millionaires who are in this company. So there's also the opportunity to do that. And it's for pennies on the dollar. We're not talking about a huge investment. You know, we're talking less than $2 a day where you can have your own turnkey travel business. And I'm here to answer any questions and assist with anyone who's interested in learning more about it, because it's changed my life.
So you're telling me that I could start another home-based business under you, and also have you as a coach, and also make money while I'm still working my current situation?
You absolutely can. And the great part about it, like I said, it's at your pace. I mean, I have some people in my organization who, disclaimer, I'm not a CPA, I'm not a tax consultant, who are solely doing this to get tax write-offs. Because there's benefits to that. There are some people who want to make just a couple $100s per month extra income. There are some people who are doing this in order to try and ramp up their business so that they can walk away from those jobs that they hate.
Okay, so, let's get a little more specific.
Yes.
Because I know there's lazy people that want to do something, but like don't want to overcommit. What would be the minimum amount of hours and effort you would have to commit to even be slightly successful at this?
That's a tough one. And I say that for this reason.
If you ain't got no friends and nobody that travels, then nothing's going to work for you. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. because and this is real talk, Tanya, is that initially when I first got started, yeah, a few of my first business transactions were with people that I knew, yes. But now, in all honesty, the majority of my business comes from people I don't even know. I will get phone calls daily now and emails from people I don't even know. And these are people that I've met on the street, at the restaurant. When I'm having dinner, I'll give my business card. If I'm sitting at the nail shop, you know, just casually walking around. And in fact, 2-minute story, I was in the nail shop. This was about a month ago. And I met a lady. We started having casual conversation. She found out I was a travel agency owner. She said, oh my God, I have a friend who needs help. She's struggling with a destination wedding. I gave her my card. I've been working with her on the destination wedding. Once that destination wedding is done, I'm going to walk away with a $15,000 check. And this was just a casual conversation. And so, you know, I mean, now, does that happen every day? No. But do I meet people casually? Yes. Do I meet people on social media? Yes. Your business, it starts snowballing from referrals also. You know, you have that option. And then there's also the network marketing side, which you can choose to or not participate in. There's residual income where you're even sleeping. You can wake up to a check being deposited in your account.
I feel like you're selling me drugs right now. Like you just
no, just
you're pushing. You're pushing. You're a pusher. She's like a travel pusher right now. It's working.
Travel is a drug, Tanya. I tell you, travel is a drug. You become addicted to it.
I do have some friends that are, you know, they are slightly addicted. It probably might work better for me after my kids are gone. But how about for people that have kids and do things like travel sports? Would this be an opportunity for them?
Oh my gosh. Those are the people who flourish the most. If you have some sort of network, if you are a mom and you're part of different organizations, social group leadership, if you are active in a sorority, if you are active, yes, I did do that. If you are active in a sorority, if you are an Eastern Star, Lynx, social group, your kids are in travel, baseball, soccer, you are the ideal person for this. This is the reason why. All of these people travel. They love to travel. All you have to do is book the travel for like your sports club. If your kids are doing a trip to Vegas, they have to get there. They have to fly. They have to take a bus. They have to have a hotel to stay in. You could be the person who's booking the trips for the team. And the best part about it is you're not charging any fees. Our agency, we don't charge any fees. That's the other great part about it. The only fees we charge would be for destination weddings. But beyond that, you could book the hotels, the flights, the rental cars, all of that. You earn commission. It's no additional cost to the people you're helping. And these are trips that you're going to have to book anyway. So why not earn the checks?
The pusher. She's a pusher.
I'm your pusher, man.
She's Nino Brown right now. She's Nino Brown. I don't even know how we got down this rabbit hole, but I do want to ask you if someone has a bucket list. Let's go with the Black bucket list.
Okay.
What are the 3 must-see destinations that they should go to that you've been to? Or maybe you haven't. I don't know.
You know, that one is so hard, Tanya.
Okay, beginners. Give me a international travel for beginners.
Okay, so this is the thing, and this is the reason I say it's so hard. And I'm not avoiding the question, I promise you. But it really just depends on who you are.
Okay, can I go to Asia? If I go to Asia and this is my first international travel, should I be scared? They're going to eat me? Like, help me out.
Gotcha. Okay, so we'll start with Asia. And I said that it depends because like my husband say, I'm the most European Black person that he knows.
I'm done. For
real, because of the places I like to go are so different than other people. But Asia, perfect continent. So first of all, did you know Dubai is considered part of Asia? A lot of people didn't know that. Everyone thinks when they think of Dubai, it's like, oh, that's Africa or whatsoever. It's not. Obviously, Dubai is a wonderful country. It's very, 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 very safe, especially for solo female travelers. It's absolutely beautiful if you want to experience luxury. What'd you say? What was that?
And rich.
Right. You can smell the money when you're walking around.
No money in Dubai. Stop playing with me.
And that mall is beautiful. I would also say Singapore. I went there last year. One of the most beautiful countries I've ever seen. It is so clean. The food is amazing. People are so nice to you there. In fact, did you know you could also get arrested or thrown into jail for littering, spitting, or putting gum on the sidewalk in Singapore? They do not play there.
No.
They are very, very, but it's also safe. You can walk around as a female late at night after hours and not have any fear. And in fact, you could even leave your handbag on a table while you're in Singapore, go get your food, do whatever, and not be in fear. Not that I'm recommending that, but it's just that safe. What? So those would be 2 countries. Japan also, Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto.
What about Africa?
Countries rich in tradition, wonderful places to go. Asia.
Talk to me about Africa.
You know, I have not been to Africa as a continent yet, but I've sent clients to places like Ghana is always an amazing place to visit initially. Kenya, I've heard, is a wonderful place. And then South Africa, more for the history and the historical aspect to see how things have evolved over the years and just learning more about the history of Africa as a continent.
Okay, talk to me about this. Getting sick. I've had some friends that have gone overseas and gotten sick when they visited. So there's a misconception that going overseas, sometimes you can catch something that might be hard to get rid of. Talk to me about that.
Sure. So with most countries, when you're traveling like to Africa or different parts, there are requirements as far as vaccinations and things like that to prepare you for getting sick. But I promise you, Africa, you're not in the bush. I think that's another misconception. Everyone thinks that, people are walking around with spears and things like that. It's not like that. And the other thing I will say about that, I always emphasize that you get travel insurance, comprehensive travel insurance, because if you get injured, sick, whatsoever, that you need to have comprehensive insurance if you need to be or medevaced away, and also to just cover expenses because they will add up quickly if you're traveling and don't have it.
So one of our stores had the most incredible wedding in Nice.
Ooh.
It was stunning. And we actually have a fraternity brother that's from over there that talks about it. Like, he's Sicilian, actually. His family's there. I think he has a bakery, and the food is amazing. The wine, I heard, is stunning. What else? What else? Give me something else. What are people missing?
Portugal. Portugal is a great country. We're actually doing a 2027 Soulful Experience. Come visit our website, integrityelitetravel.com.
You say soulful, like SOUL?
Yes.
SUL, like food?
SOUL. Yes, ma'am. It's Soulful Experiences. It is a river cruise in partnership, Integrity Elite Travel in partnership with AMA Waterways. We are partnering with them to do their Soulful Experience. Ooh. We are going to be doing Egypt, France, and Portugal. And they have curated the trip so that it is from the Black experience.
Oh my God.
So all of the excursions, everything is going to be about us. The France trip, there will be a Black Paris city tour, the Josephine Baker experience. With Portugal, you'll be able to see there is such a rich Black Afro experience or history with Portugal. Portugal has a huge Black population that a lot of people don't know about. A lot of people from the US are heading to Portugal right now as far as one of the most popular countries that we are relocating to from the United States. And then Egypt is Egypt, of course, as far as the history. But 2027, we will be taking groups out to each of these countries to allow people to experience it from a Black perspective. Because as you know, with river cruising, it's typically the demographic is more older white people. Mm-hmm. And so they've curated these experiences really for us, because they know that we have a lot of disposable income that hasn't been tapped into, and AMA Waterways has seen it, and they are executing. Oh my gosh. So Egypt is in January of 2027. Portugal is in August, and France is October, I believe.
So if someone happened to be with your agency at the time, mm-hmm. as a part-timer, mm-hmm. is this something that would help them be able to go on these amazing experiences that you have me over here salivating about?
Absolutely. So one of the things, as being a travel agent, you do have access to different travel perks and discounts. We have things that are called fam trips or familiarization trips, where we are able to do cruises, visit properties, and, go different places at a substantial discount. And some of them, like major discounts, like 50, 60% off, just because we're travel agents, and these different companies, they want us to come experience the product so that we can sell the product. And then the other thing is, with just some of the discounts, just remember, for any trip that you were planning on doing anyway as a travel commission, when you come back home 30 to 45 days afterwards, you're going to get a commission check.
I don't want to be naive here and not ask about the elephant in the room, which is, even with the economy like this, you think that there's opportunity for people out there like that, and to be a part of this business now where disposable income seems to be shrinking a bit?
So, as I said, I retired or walked away from my 6-figure job in March of this year because my income was basically commensurate with what I was earning. And I've only been in this business for 3 years. And, just because of my fortitude and my decision and commitment to get away from a job that I hate, I was actually ranked last year with my host agency. I was number 24 out of 140,000 agents. And that was primarily because I had made a decision to do that. And my business is continuing to grow year over year. So I know that there's some financial challenges right now in the current state of our economy, but I would also say that there's a big portion of our population that's impacted, but not all of our population here in the United States. And, as a travel agent, I sell and help everyone. This isn't just a Black business. Money is green. This has nothing to do with, color, race, socioeconomic level. You're going to sell to everyone. This is a true business. And if you treat it like a real business, it'll pay like a real business.
I love that. Hey, let me ask you, since you threw it up, how long have you been in the finer family of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated?
Woo, woo. Glad that you asked that. Here we go. Spring 89, June 21st, 1989, UCLA solo pledge, new Lambda chapter. Yes, I did say solo by myself. 7 weeks, 6 days, 23 hours, 10 minutes, and 30 seconds. So, yes, I did do all of that. I'm so sorry. I went way off on a tangent.
I needed that. That was good. That was empowering.
Oh my gosh. So what is that? Since 89, what's that? 36 years. Oh my God.
36 years of Zeta.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Where have you seen the biggest change in the organization? This might be for a second podcast, y'all, but go ahead.
It might be. I have never been an advocate. Obviously, we know that organizations do not, all of the Divine Nine, no one pledges, all of that hazing stuff shouldn't have ever existed anyway. But I really am a firm believer I think that the change in the process really has impacted, or the membership intake process. I personally, this is a view of Dr. Stacey Edwards, the travel doctor. I think that it has impacted the organization, because I believe back when I pledged and became a member, I think that a lot of the activities that we did together, it helped bring together a sisterhood. Even though I was by myself, I had 5 line brothers that I pledged with, because, for those of you who do not know, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated and Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, we are the only constitutionally bound organizations that we would pledge together. And I have an amazing bond with all of my line brothers that if I would have just gone through a membership intake process, that I don't believe that I would have developed. Even with my big sisters at the time, the amount of time I spent with them, the amount of time that I was forced, to learn my history and to study and to even learn about the members of my chapter, both Zetas and Sigmas. It allowed me to grow closer and learn the bond. Whereas now, and I'm probably going to get all type of phone calls and hate mails, Soros, I love you. But I just don't think with the membership intake, it's more of just a membership of an organization and not saying that all of the Soros who come in have that mindset, but for a lot of people, I just see it as kind of another organization that you're joining and having an affiliation with. I just think that there's a great loss in the bond. That's
so
just
we have another soror that's a friend of ours, and she, like me, believes that there is something missing, like you said, and there is something from that old process that we can bring back and implement to help bridge the divide, because I think it's missing. It is, I don't know, it's almost like, being Black in America, one thing you can't take from us is our ancestry, is our history, our richness, our heritage. And I think that's what's missing in the current process, is the heritage part of it, which can't be developed in a short period of time, signing a paper and paying the money, blah, blah, blah. This nice, soft, dummy down way of doing things. And that's across D9. For all of us that have been doing this for quite a while, over 20 years, I think we are all in agreement that there's something missing. So let's continue to have that conversation, and maybe one day we'll be able to elevate it and make change, because I know that we both are very much into change. But let the people know so they can send you hate mail where they can find you at. No, I'm just kidding.
Here I go. We're going to put all the Zeta commentary over to the left. Back to travel.
Oh my God. No, seriously though, I definitely want to thank you for being here. And I wanted the people to know how much of a powerhouse you are in Zeta, in business, in society, in your community, with business owners, in the business community. And now you are using your talent to help others, to coach others, to, help them increase their income. That's a big deal. Economics right now is a big deal, and finding yourself in a situation where you have freedom is huge. So if they want to get in touch with you, either for travel services or to be one of your agents, holla, let them know.
Absolutely. So for those of you who are looking and earning or the potential of earning additional income, part-time, full-time, or even residual income while you sleep for less than $2 a day, I have an opportunity I would be more than happy to share with you. It is the opportunity that I took in becoming a travel agency owner and travel business owner. A few months ago, I was able to transition out. So for those of you who are interested in doing that, please contact me at jointhetraveldoctor.com. Once again, that's JOIN, thetraveldoctor.com. It'll have all of the information needed in regards to how you can get started, give you and answer all of the questions you have specifically about travel agency ownership, and then also the network marketing aspect. And in addition, for those of you who may not be interested in the travel business and you just want travel and you need some inside advice, suggestions, free of cost, except for my destination wedding people, of course, please visit me at integrityelitetravel.com. We have lots of information regarding group trips, individual travel, both domestic and international. And I am here to help answer any questions and assist those of you who are looking to learn more about travel.
Well, on that here, I can't wait till we connect again. I feel like I have so much more to ask you now. That's why I don't even like talking to you, because I don't even got the time, but I'm gonna make the time. So
Yep.
something I don't have to get passed by so that I can have more time with the travel doctor, Dr. Stacey, my soror. You guys make sure you get in touch. I'll put all that information in the captions. And if you want to stalk her on Facebook, I think I'm dating myself, but she's there and you can see a lot of the fun that she's having. You can either live vicariously through her or get in touch with her and do your own living. So thank you, Dr. Stacey Edwards, for being here, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner. I'll talk with you soon. Take care, Tanya.
Hey, thanks for showing up to the podcast where we all know that the best leaders are lifetime learners. When you get a sec, take a moment, leave a comment. What you think about today's episode, and share it with someone that you know could use the gems that were dropped today. Follow and subscribe. You don't want to miss who's coming up next. You never know who could show up here and what they could say. For your professional needs, marketing, PR, communications, and leadership, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Sand and Shores, or hit us up at sandandshores.com. Again, thanks so much for showing up. We appreciate you, and we'll see you soon.